Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the world of Charles Hoskinson.
Oh, yeah,
He's been a pretty big name in the crypto world.
definitely.
We've got research articles, even some of his own words to kind of paint a picture of who he is and why he matters to all of us, really.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's not your typical tech CEO.
Right.
There's this depth to his story. It's like this blend of mathematics and philosophy,
Yeah.
even a little bit of Wild West in there.
Okay, I'm intrigued now.
Yeah.
So the outline mentions that he started out in mathematics,
Yeah.
not computer science.
Right.
That's not the usual path to crypto fame, is it?
Not at all, no. He was deep into analytic number theory, which is pretty abstract stuff.
Wow.
But then he got hooked on cryptography.
Okay.
It's almost like he saw the connection between the elegance of math and the potential of this new technology
Yeah.
to change the world.
So instead of just theorizing about it,
Yeah,
he just jumped right in.
he did.
We're talking 2013, early days of crypto.
Yeah. Yep.
He co-founded this company and launched BitShares,
Right.
which was organized in a way that even back then was radical.
Exactly. Yeah, it was structured as a decentralized autonomous corporation, or a DAE,
Base, okay.
which is a term Hoskinson himself coined.
Oh, wow.
So imagine a company run by algorithms,
Oh, wow.
by code, with no CEO calling the shots.
Yeah.
He was already thinking about ways to distribute power
Right.
before most people even knew what blockchain was.
Yeah, that's a huge idea, especially for back then.
Absolutely.
But BitShares wasn't his only early project.
Right.
He was also involved with something much bigger,
Way bigger.
Ethereum.
Exactly.
So he was a co-founder alongside Vitalik Buterin.
That's right.
I mean, these are like the biggest names in crypto.
Huge.
And they met through this Bitcoin education project that Hoskinson had started.
Yeah, so clearly he was really passionate about getting more people into the space.
Right, from the get-go.
From the beginning, yeah.
But then, as often happens with big ideas and strong personalities,
Right.
there were disagreements.
Of course.
And Hoskinson left to pursue his own vision.
Yeah.
And that's where things get really interesting.
This is where it gets good.
Right.
This is where we see IOHK, his engineering company, and Cardano, the blockchain platform that a lot of people see as like a competitor to Ethereum.
Oh, wow. So it's like this rivalry brewing.
Yeah.
Cardano, I've definitely heard that name.
Yeah.
That's one of the top cryptocurrencies out there.
It is, yeah.
But something tells me Hoskinson isn't just focused on beating Ethereum, at its own game.
Right.
Our research points to a much, broader scope of activities.
Totally. Yeah, you're right. This is where we see all those other sides of him starting to come out.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just a tech guy. He's super involved in academic research and philanthropy all around blockchain technology.
So give me some examples. Where do we see this in action?
Well, he's funded research labs at big universities like the University of Edinburgh, the Tokyo Institute of Technology. There are projects at the University of Wyoming and Carnegie Mellon.
Got it.
It's global, and it really shows his belief that blockchain is way more than just like a financial tool.
Yeah.
It's like a fundamental technology that could change everything.
So it's not just about building the next big cryptocurrency.
Right.
It's about using blockchain to solve big problems
Totally.
and push the boundaries of knowledge.
Yeah.
That seems to be a recurring theme with him.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond just funding research.
Right.
He put a crazy amount of his own money, like $20 million, into starting the Hoskinson Center for Formal Mathematics at Carnegie Mellon.
$20 million.
Yeah.
You don't see that kind of investment in math every day.
No.
What do you think is driving him here?
It's wild, right? They're using computers to actually check mathematical proofs. So basically trying to guarantee the accuracy of these crazy complicated theorems.
Yeah.
It's bringing computer science into math.
But what's the real world application of that?
Yeah.
Seems pretty abstract.
The potential is massive. It could lead to breakthroughs in all sorts of fields like computer science, physics, even economics.
Oh, wow.
And it shows that Hoskinson's vision is way bigger than just the immediate uses of blockchain.
Right.
He's thinking long term, the kind of changes that could reshape how we understand the world.
Okay, so we've got the research, the philanthropy. It's clear this guy's playing on a different level
For sure.
than your average tech entrepreneur.
Be different.
But there's also this other side to him, a bit more, well, let's just say colorful.
You're talking about the polymarket bets, right?
Exactly. He won this $50,000 bet on the release of Cardano's smart contracts.
Yeah.
So somebody bet against him thinking it wouldn't happen.
By a certain date. Yep.
But Hoskinson was confident, and he was right.
He was.
It shows a certain swagger, a willingness to put his money where his mouth is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And there was even a follow-up bet from the co-founder of Polygon,
Oh, wow.
which is another blockchain platform, doubling down on the challenge. It's like watching a high-stakes poker game play out.
In the crypto world.
In the crypto world.
It's definitely entertaining.
Totally.
But before we get too caught up in all the crypto drama,
Yeah.
there's one last piece of the puzzle I want to explore.
Okay.
The outline mentions something called the Hoskinson Health and Wellness Clinic.
Right.
This is where things take a really interesting turn.
Definitely. Yeah.
So it's a clinic he founded in Gillette, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
It offers all sorts of healthcare services, including something called life extension services.
Life extension.
And get this, they accept ADA,
Wow.
Cardano's cryptocurrency, as payment.
That's something.
Life extension services? Is he trying to, crack the code to immortality or something?
Maybe.
This is starting to sound less like Silicon Valley and more like a sci-fi novel.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not immortality just yet.
Yeah.
But it definitely shows how fascinated he is with pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Right.
Not just in the digital world, but in health and human potential, too.
Mm.
And the fact that he's using ADA in this venture shows he's serious about making cryptocurrency a part of everyday life,
Right.
actually using it
Yeah.
for real world stuff. As we go through all the stuff on Charles Hoskinson, it's kind of amazing how big his vision is.
Yeah.
He doesn't want just one piece of the pie.
Right.
He wants to revolutionize everything. Finance, healthcare, math.
It's almost overwhelming, right? It's
Exactly.
like this guy is operating on a whole other level.
Totally.
But it makes you think, what's driving him? Is it ambition, altruism?
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
I think it's both. Definitely there's a ton of idealism there.
Okay.
This belief that technology, especially blockchain, can really do good in the world.
We see that in his philanthropy, right?
Totally.
The Hoskinson Center for Formal Mathematics.
Exactly.
It's not just throwing money at problems. He's trying to change how we think about knowledge and solving problems.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to democratize knowledge, give people the tools to understand the world and shape it. And he sees blockchain as a big part of that.
But blockchain still has this kind of Wild West reputation, right? It's
Yeah.
volatile crypto markets and even some shady stuff.
Right.
So how does he reconcile that with this vision of a better future for everyone?
He knows about those challenges,
Yeah.
but he thinks the good outweighs the bad.
Okay.
He talks about blockchain as a new technology, like the internet in the early days.
Right.
There were problems then too, but ultimately the internet connected the world in ways we never thought possible.
So he's playing the long game, hoping the good uses of blockchain will eventually be bigger than the bad ones.
Exactly.
But isn't that a gamble?
It is a bit, yeah, but that seems to be a core part of who Charles Hoskinson is. He's a risk taker, a pioneer who pushes boundaries and challenges how we think.
Right.
He sees blockchain as a tool to disrupt things, to
Yeah.
shake things up, and make new things possible.
And that can be polarizing, right?
Definitely, he has a lot of passionate supporters.
Yeah.
But he's got his critics, too. That's what happens when you challenge the status quo. Some people love the change.
Yeah.
Others see it as a threat. And Hoskinson's not afraid to be right in the middle of that.
He definitely doesn't shy away from expressing his opinions.
No.
He's always giving interviews, speaking at conferences, debating online.
He wants to shape the conversation, not just watch from the sidelines.
Right.
That's another key thing about him.
Right.
He's a communicator, like a preacher for the tech he believes in.
Okay.
And whether you agree with him or not, you got to respect that.
He's a larger-than-life figure, constantly pushing limits and making headlines.
Definitely.
But underneath all that, there's this bigger question.
Yeah.
What kind of world is he actually trying to create with all of this?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
He talks a lot about decentralization,
Okay.
about shifting power away from big institutions and back to individuals.
Right.
He wants a world where people have more control over their data, their money, their identities.
That's a powerful idea.
That is,
But it also brings up a bunch of new questions.
for sure.
How do we make sure this decentralized future is fair and sustainable and good for everyone?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll dig into in the last part of our deep dive.
Okay. So we've spent the last couple parts, digging into Charles Hoskinson, the mathematician, the crypto guy, the entrepreneur,
Right.
even the life extension enthusiast.
The whole package.
Right. But now I think it's time to really grapple with what it all means.
Yeah, I agree. We've seen his vision for this decentralized future, where blockchain empowers people and changes how things work.
Right.
But that kind of change comes with a lot of new questions,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to ethics and responsibility.
I'm all for empowering people. But let's be real. Not everyone uses power for good.
Right.
What's to stop someone from using blockchain for bad stuff?
Yeah.
Can you really build a system that's both open and safe?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Freedom versus control. Hoskinson himself has talked about needing some kind of governance,
Okay.
like finding the right balance between individual freedom and what's good for everyone.
Right.
But setting those boundaries in a decentralized world is really hard.
Yeah, it's like trying to herd cats.
Exactly.
You can't just use the old rules on a system that's built to work outside of them.
Right, and that's what makes this so interesting. How do you create checks and balances when there's no one in charge?
Right.
How do you stop bad actors without stifling innovation and undermining the whole point of decentralization?
Those are tough questions, and I don't think there are easy answers.
No.
But it seems like Hoskinson at least knows about these challenges.
Yeah.
And is trying to find solutions.
He's talked about community-driven governance,
Okay.
using blockchain to create systems that are transparent and accountable.
Right.
He's also put money into research on security and privacy.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress, and it's going to take a lot of experimentation and people working together.
Right. Besides the security stuff, there's also the issue of accessibility.
Yeah.
Blockchain can be pretty complicated for the average person.
It can.
So how do we make sure everyone benefits from this technology,
Right.
not just the tech experts?
That's huge. If we're talking about a decentralized future, it can't just be for a select few.
Right.
Hoskinson has really pushed for education and user-friendly interfaces.
Okay.
He thinks as the technology gets better,
Yeah.
it'll become easier for everyone to use and understand.
It's like the early days of the internet.
Exactly.
It was clunky at first,
Yeah.
but over time it became more user-friendly and part of our lives.
Totally. And just like the internet led to a digital revolution,
Yeah.
blockchain could change so many things
Wow.
across industries in our lives.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway for our listeners?
Hmm.
What should they be thinking about in this crazy world of crypto?
I think it's about staying informed,
Okay.
asking the tough questions, and being involved in shaping the future. Don't just buy into the hype or dismiss it.
Yeah.
Engage with the ideas, explore the possibilities, think about both the good and the bad.
Be part of the conversation, right?
Exactly.
Not just watching, but helping to guide how this technology changes society.
Yeah.
Charles Hoskinson has shown us what a decentralized future could be.
He has.
But it's up to all of us to decide what that future will actually look like.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been an awesome journey.
It has.
Learning about a true visionary.
For sure.
He's challenged us to think differently, to push boundaries, and imagine a world where technology empowers everyone
Absolutely.
and changes everything.
It's been a pleasure, and I hope everyone listening keeps exploring these ideas, stays curious,
Yeah.
and keeps talking about how blockchain is shaping our world.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. Until next time,
Yeah.
keep exploring, keep questioning,
Yes.
and keep diving deep.